So Mark, appreciate you coming on the show with us today.
Well, it's my first time I was actually able to get into the green room. It's actually green, too.
It's funny, we joke, Mark's having a hard time sitting in the seat that he's sitting in, because he's used to sitting over here in this seat most of the time. So if he messes anything up today, it's just going to be because he's not sitting in the right seat.
Just something a little different.
So we got Mark on today, and we're going to talk about some things that you've got some unique knowledge about. And the first one I wanted to talk about was kind of some tips you can recommend to people when it comes to pest prevention, keeping not just termites, but keeping pests out of the home to protect your home's value.
Well, as you know, Andrew, we do a lot of work in my company for realtors and things where they're trying to sell the home. And there's probably nothing worse than walking into a home that you're looking at as a potential purchase for yourself than seeing either rodent or roaches or something else inside.
Or termite dust.
Or termites, yes.
Where you can see the dust, the remnants of it.
Absolutely. And taking care of those problems prior to leaving the home is a better thing in having the home available for viewing than to let something like that creep up on you. And then
an inspection, and then you're backtracking, trying to fix it instead of getting in front of the problem.
Yeah, so many people decide to cancel termite warranties. Before they do the sale. They're trying to save as much money as they can to move out of the home. But what happens is you run into a problem, then you have to put that money forward where you could have eliminated a lot of that damage prior to that just by keeping your warranties in effect.
Well, it's like Murphy's Law. You turn it off, and that's when they show up, right?
Oh, absolutely. Or even pest control. We deal with a lot of people in the Tampa Bay area. And, the first thing to do, well, I'm going to cancel my lawn service, I'm going to go ahead and cancel my interior home service and termite warranty service, and put my home up for sale, because I'm living up north. And the first people coming into the home, they see a bug or a rat or something that's running through the home, or droppings.
Right.
It just puts up.
And not only that, but I mean, you have to think about the people that you eliminate and lose having interest. Could you have gotten more than one person interested in making an offer? Could you have got a bidding war? But you lost a couple of them because they came in and saw something like that. And
it only takes one.
Right. And I think it's crucial. I mean, we tell people regularly. I mean, I can't tell you how many times that we see termites kill a sale. And
sure.
With the financing side of it, most of the lenders and most of the loan products require a clean WDO report. So, why not get? I mean, it doesn't cost anything to have a property. I mean, I can't say anything, but it's minimal cost to have it inspected for termites and know up front, because not only can it kill the sale, but it can really hurt the home's value. If it gets into some of the crucial structure of the property, you've got a property that could almost be worthless if it gets really bad.
Well, I've seen some of the homes that you've talked about before. A lot of people doing a cash sale on property. Cash sale on property does not require a WDO inspection form from the state.
Sure.
And I think a lot of people are missing the boat by having a WDO inspection, which is a wood-destroying organism inspection. Now, that not only covers termites, but actually the wood-destroying organisms such as powder post beetles and other beetles that affect the woodworking or the foundation of the home. So making sure that you keep those warranties up and have that home treated, if you ever have a sign on something, to have that work performed before
it turns into a big problem.
It turns into a big problem, or you try to sell the home. There's nothing worse than having all of a sudden at the end of the day losing a customer, number one, or having to go ahead and put that additional money into the home. I
mean, we've seen scenarios where the home seller selling their home, and they go out and they buy a home. And
sure.
And their sale is contingent on this, and contingent on the sale of the other, and all that. But they start making moving plans and setting up utilities and all this, and then come to find out there's termites in their house, and the buyer is gone. And then so not only does the first sale go away, the second sale, so their ability to buy their home kind of goes away too. So it's something that's pretty crucial. I mean, like I said, we run into it a lot, and I think being proactive as a homeowner, to get that done, ahead of time, or know where you're at. And trying to address anything before it goes on the market.
If you have a problem, or you think you have a problem, and there's something that maybe the listeners don't know, that there's a lot of companies, pest control companies like myself, that offer what they call free termite inspections. And there is a difference between a free termite inspection and a WDO inspection that the state requires as part of a sale.
Right.
The free termite inspections are where the companies are coming in. They do a cursory look of the home to see if you have any termite problems within the home. But they're not doing a full detailed inspection, which is required on the WDO inspection form.
Right.
So it's very important to have a professional company come out, do that, kind of ahead of the game to determine whether or not you have either termites or wood-destroying organisms within the home, and then having that taken care of before you list the home. So at least if there was a problem, and that problem's now been taken care of,
documentation,
and you have the documentation, very important.
And if you have a need for that, it's abc-pestcontrol.com.
Pestcontrol.com. Sure.
So, and another thing I wanted to talk to you about, and obviously there's a lot of things people can do to protect their home's value. What are some, so outside of pests, let's say you've got a house that, there's an occasional rodent problem, or what are some things people can do to prevent that from happening?
Well, very, very important and good question is when you have a rodent problem on the outside of the home. Let's say we get people that call. Well, I've seen them before, but they're only in the garage. There's no such thing as they're only in the garage.
Everywhere.
Okay, they're usually up in the attic. And there's more than one. If you see a rodent somewhere, there's always more than one, and they're in there for a reason because they have an entry point. They're either keeping warm, maybe there's a moisture source that they can come in and get water. Or nourishment inside the home. Maybe you have a pet and you keep your dog food out in the garage. We can't tell you how many dog food tubs that we've seen where the tops have been completely chewed off from the rodents that are coming in every night to feast on the dog food inside the garage. So how do you keep those out of the home is through exclusionary methods, and this is where we use, my company actually comes out and we actually exclude the rodents from the home versus trapping the ones that are there. If you just trap the ones that are there, more are going to come back in.
Right, so you got to figure out where they're getting in and then eliminate their ability to get into that.
And that's a method of using hardware cloth and things and going up on the roof, sealing up the entryways where these rodents are coming into the structure.
Perfect. So again, you're listening to the Duncan Duo Real Estate Show. If you've got questions, you can give us a call, 990-9352 in Hillsborough, 461-9352 in Pinellas, toll free, 1-800-969-9352. I'm going to continue the conversation with Mark after our break. We're going to talk about some new treatment methods for termite treatment that's going to kind of, sounds like maybe eliminate the whole idea of tenting, or at least,
sure.
At your company anyway. And we're also going to talk about some best bang for the buck landscaping and curb appeal to improve your home's value. We're going to talk about that. But I wanted to get to a quick study real quick before we go to the break. And a smoker's home can lower the value up to 29%. There was a recent survey that did a lot of study on values and home values, and I was baffled that home values could be impacted by that much. And we're regularly walking into homes and telling people, hey, look, we can smell the smoke. You got to smoke outside, or it's going to turn off some people. And sometimes the smoker may not notice it. They may not realize the smell because they're used to it every day. But it is it can have a dramatic impact on your home. Buyers liking it, falling in love with it because they're kind of inundated with the smoke. So it can have a drastic impact. So if you're out there thinking about selling your home and you smoke in your home, maybe you want to have there are companies that can come in and kind of clean out your ducts and then stop smoking in the house because it can really impact you. So we're going to be back after a quick break here on 970 WFLA. We'll continue taking your calls and talk about some termite treatment, new types of termite treatment, as well as best bang for the buck landscaping and curb appeal. After a quick break here on 970 WFLA.